So today I'll be talking about how to avoid burnout as a footballer. Now, if you don't know what burnout is basically just an extreme version of lacking motivation, lacking the will to do anything, lacking the will to go to training, to go to matches. It's just an extreme version. Burnout is like when it gets to the point where you're literally just sick of football. You don't want anything to do with it. You don't want to play. You don't even want to watch football now. I've been in this situation myself where I didn't want to go to matches. I didn't want to train. I didn't even want to watch the Premier League. I didn't want anything to do with football. I just wanted to escape football completely. And so today I'll be talking about why this happened to me and ways to avoid it. Now, the first one, in my opinion, is an obvious one. You need to have an escape. You need to have a life outside of football. I feel like a lot of young players, all they know growing up, or all they know that they're good at growing up, is just football, football, football. You ask them, okay, what do you want to do? What do you want to be when you're older? I want to be a footballer. Or what do you want to do at lunchtime in school? You play football. Like me personally, I'll be honest, growing up, primary school, secondary school, if all I wanted to do at lunchtime was play football. If it wasn't playing football, then I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to. I remember certain guys used to play like it. Certain guys used to play things like bulldog, and sometimes I'd join in. You know what I'm saying? Some certain guys would play tennis. I remember in primary school, and yeah, I'd join in, but ultimately, I was just thinking in my mind, I just want to play football. I just want to play football. And obviously, if you're training every day, if you're if you're watching football all the time, if your mind's just on football constantly and you sort of don't have that escape, you don't have sort of hobbies outside of football, I feel like that's when burnout happens. And I feel like that's what happened to me, where it's cool, obviously, having an obsession with it can drive you to, improve all areas of your game. However, it will get to a point where you start not to enjoy it anymore. You actually start to hate it. You start to, say to yourself, oh, why am I still doing this? Why do I don't want to go to training. I don't want to do this. I barely want to play matches. And you just sort of lose that motivation because I feel like you've just been everything just been football, 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 football. And you sort of just don't have that escape. You don't have anything else that sort of, gets you out of bed in the morning. You don't have anything else that really excites you because, especially as a kid growing up, school's taking up most of your day. So you usually have school for 6 hours, and then you have, like I said, limited time after that. And then obviously the other part of the time is taken up by football. So you don't really have you don't have any time to do anything else really. Like it's just school, football, and then you just go bed in it. But I feel like if you want to avoid burnout, try find something else you enjoy. So preferably, it can be a different sport, but preferably try to find something that's not even like sports related, not really physical related. It can be physical related, like I said. Maybe your escape from football is literally you just want to go to the gym, try to get stronger. That's a good escape. Maybe you want to play a different sport. Maybe you want to go park and play basketball with your friends, or you like to run track, do something else. Just do something else that's not football related. Maybe you like to draw. Maybe you like to flipping skateboard. Maybe you like to what's it called? Maybe you like to make YouTube videos. You know what I'm saying? Just do anything that can take your mind off of football for a little bit, for the time being. Because like I said, you don't want to be constantly just invested, just thinking football, football, football. Because I've said this before. Because it's great when everything's going good in football, it feels like, oh, you're the man. It feels like everything in life is just going well. You're happy. You've got that buzz in your step. Like I said, everything just feels good. But trust me, when it's bad, when things in football aren't really going too well, when you're not performing, it feels like the whole world's crumbling around you, and it shouldn't really feel like that, in my opinion. Like I remember as a kid, anytime I'd have a bad game of football, it just felt like the whole world was just crumbling because I didn't have anything else. Like, football was literally just it for me. So anytime things weren't going well, maybe not even a bad game, even a bad training session, I'd be pissed. Like even a bad training session, I'll be like, oh damn, like it'll be lingering in my mind. I'll be thinking, let's say we trained on Tuesday, let's say we trained on Thursdays and Saturdays. If I had a bad training session on the Thursday, I'd be waking up on Saturday morning thinking, oh, I had a bad training session on Thursday. Like I need to recover. I need to make up for it. And then I might have a bad training session on the Saturday. And then coming up to a Sunday match, now I'm less confident. Now I'm thinking, oh, I'm out of form. I'm saying to myself, I'm out of form. Even though I had a good game the previous Sunday, I'm just down to two bad training sessions. I'm out here saying, oh, I'm out of form. I'm upset. Like I'm damn near depressed. I'm thinking I'm moving. I'm acting like the whole world's gonna crumble around me simply because I didn't have that sort of escape. So in my opinion, that's the first point to avoid burnout. Just find something else apart from football that you can switch off, even if it's reading, just anything. Just find anything. And then the next point is actually just variety. In terms, this is more geared towards your individual training sessions. If you're a guy, you like to go out, work on your game, and you feel like you're getting bored of doing the same drills over and over again. I feel like I've done this as well, where I'm just constantly doing the same drills. Let's say the same passing drills, the same dribbling drills, the same shooting drills. I just want to mix it up. So in my opinion, variety is key. Just be creative. Be creative with it. You can find different ways on YouTube. I promise you, there's so many videos on YouTube where it's different drills, or you can literally just make one yourself. I'm pretty sure I've made most of my drills that I do. I've literally just made it by myself, like literally on the fly. I've just thought, okay, I can put the cones here, then I can do this, or I can change it slightly here. Just variety is key in my opinion, because like I said, if you do the same thing over and over again, you're just gonna get you'll eventually get fed up with it, which is obviously you have to have discipline to really stick with it. But you don't want it to get to a point where you're hating football. You're literally fed up with it. You're fed up of the routine of just everything, and you don't want anything to do with it. Obviously, you don't want that to happen. So, in my opinion, variety is key. Just switch up the routine constantly. Maybe every 2 weeks, every month, you you pick an attribute. You say, all right, cool. For the next 2 weeks, I'm gonna really go hard on my passing and just create different passing drills, different passing patterns, and then work on that. Then after another 2 weeks, you say, okay, shooting, then defending, then have I say dribbling, then dribbling, so and so forth, so forth. So variety is key. Make sure you're just switching up your training sessions. Not only the drills, but also the intensity as well. You can't go 100% every single training session, because like I said, you're gonna wake up feeling sore, feeling tired. So obviously, I know, I get, obviously you wanna be match realistic, but there's just certain days where you have to sort of vary that intensity. Maybe one day you go 100, and the next day you bring it down to 70. Then you bring it back up to 80. Then one day you might be extremely sore. Just go out there, just bring it down to 50. Just say, all right, cool. Today I'm just getting my touches in, wall passes. I might have a couple of shots, but nothing too intense. Then the next day you're recovered and you say, yo, I'm bringing it back to 100. So it's just about varying, like I said, the intensity and also the drills. And the next point is literally, in my opinion, you can be spontaneous with it sometimes. Sometimes when you get up in the morning, let's say you planned your training session and you said, all right, cool. Today I'm gonna work on my dribbling. But then you wake up in the morning. You go to the pitch and you're thinking, I don't really want to work on my dribbling. Like I would much rather do passing today, or I'd much rather work on my defending. My friends coming, so I'd much rather just work on my defending. If that's the case, let's say you had something planned, but you really just feel like doing something else, you can do that. In my opinion, you can do that from time to time. Obviously, you want to stick to the plan because you don't want to just let's say you don't want to just be doing shooting every single time. But once in a while, in my opinion, it's good to just change things up. It's good to just say, all right, cool. Yeah, I was meant to do dribbling today, but honestly, my friend, I've got a training partner today. I want to work on my 1v1 defending. It's probably the only opportunity I'll get, but let's do it. Let's work on my 1v1 defending. So you can be spontaneous with it. Even in my opinion, there's times where I've literally just got a random generator on my phone, and I've just spun a wheel and I've just said, all right, cool. What am I training today? Just little things like that. Because there's certain days you wake up, especially the days when you're demotivated, you just think, oh, like I don't feel like training. So I just get on my phone and be like, all right, cool, what am I training today? And then bang. Maybe it's something that I like. Maybe it's a pass. Maybe I'm working on my passing today. But even if it's something you don't like, in my opinion, if you tap, let's say you're a striker, you tap on the wheel, and it's something you don't like. Let's say it says, all right, cool, you have to work on your defending today. Or you're a winger, let's say, make it more realistic. You have to work on your defending, because as a winger, you still have to track back. You might be in position to, have to defend against your opposite fullback. Let's say you're a winger, you tap on the random generator, and it says you have to work on your defending. Even if you don't really like working on your defending, it's in my opinion, it's still beneficial, because it still gives you that. It still trains the skill of, all right, cool. I don't want to do this, but let's go. And then eventually, once you start working on your defending, once you get into the first couple of drills, you're thinking to yourself, all right, cool. Like I'm in the zone now. Like I actually feel it. So that's the next point, in my opinion. Literally, you can be spontaneous with that sometimes. Maybe even not even doing a random wheel generator in terms of what drills you're doing, maybe in terms of even the place you're training at. Some days I'll be like, alright, cool. I'm bored of the Astro. Let me just go to the local park. Like, let me just go to the park instead. You know, if you're feeling demotivated, maybe even literally a change of scenery could sort of get that spark back. You understand? Um, it could just motivate you again. Because I remember even for me, I got bored of going to the AstroTurf. I know it sounds crazy because most people don't have access to an AstroTurf with goals, but for some reason I wasn't feeling motivated. So I was like, you know what, yeah, let me just go to the park. Let me just go to just a simple local park. That's where I first started training, and then obviously once I got there, I had all the memories, all the memories came back about when I was young, about how I used to come to the park with my dad. And to be fair, we still go to the park with my brother as well. But all the memories of going to the park when I was young, and that sort of just sparked me back into life. That sort of just gave me my motivation back. Just going back to the park, just getting my touches in. I remember in my park, there's like a brick wall where I just always used to play, just working on my wall passes. That's where I got good at my left foot, just passing it against the wall, doing just sort of doing keep ups against the wall, literally just doing kick ups, kicking it against the wall, touching it down, just little things like that. And obviously the change of scenery just sort of sparked me back into life. It sort of just got me my motivation back. So, like I said, third point, you can be spontaneous. You can have maybe one day you decide to change the scenery, change where you train, change what types of drills you're doing, etc. So yeah. And then the final point about the changing of scenery, I say this all the time, but hey, if you're feeling a slight burnout, if you're feeling demotivation, it might be time to change teams. You might have been on your team, the team that you play for. You might have been there since you were a kid. You might have been there for 3 years, for 5 years, for gosh, some people are on their team for a whole 10 years. But hey, if you're feeling demotivated, if you're feeling that you're sort of stagnating, you're not really seeing any more progress. You feel like you've stalled. You don't feel like you're getting bearing any sort of attribute. Maybe just a change of scenery. Maybe you just need a change of teammates. Maybe better. You need to play with better teammates. Maybe you need to work under a coach who will sort of bring different things out of you. Maybe you go to a new coach who sort of demands more out of you, demands more intensity out of you. Or a coach that shows you, nah, you need to receive the ball like this. You need to pass the ball like this. A coach maybe that plays you in a different position that forces you to work on different attributes in your game. Maybe you're a striker. I know you've known as scoring goals, running in behind. But now your coach says, nah, you're going to be a winger now. So now maybe you need to work on your 1v1 attack, your 1v1 attacking. Maybe work on your crossing. Maybe just get into the mindset of being a little bit more selfless. Creating for others. Learning how to create for others instead of just relying on others to create for you, for example. And then obviously, even if you don't stay as a winger and you go back to a striker, that will obviously now you've got sort of that 1v1 ability. You've been working on that 1v1 ability. So now when you get in certain situations where you're 1v1 against the centre back, you just have more strings to your bow, more weapons in your arsenal. You can go left, you can go right, you can hit with a step over, a body feint, or whatever you need to do to get past him. So in my opinion, the last point about burnout is change of scenery, change teams. Because obviously, like I said, I know for me personally, changing teams is what always sort of brought a new life to me, a new energy. Because obviously you want to impress the new coach. You want to show him that you deserve to start. You're trying to take someone else's place as well, and also you're trying to gain the respect from your teammates, to show your teammates that like I'm a good player. I deserve to start. Obviously, like I said, you don't want to be known as the worst player on your team. Nobody wants to be known as the worst player on your team. Nobody not wants to be known as a bench warmer. So changing teams will sort of just give you that spark, give you that motivation to prove to people that you're a good player. But anyway, that's it for the vid. I hope you enjoyed. I've been JT, and I'm out.